Hey there, and welcome to another video with Ulrich. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create ad copies that actually sells. So the goal of this tutorial is to create social media ads, things like Facebook ads, Instagram ad, Pinterest, and any other platforms. But for this specific tutorial, I'm only going to focus on Facebook and Instagram ad. And it's also going to be about service-based business ad, right? So if you're going to sell anything online, whether they are physical product, digital products, or service, I almost broke my microphone. That service-based business, you need to know how to write ad copy that sell, or you need to know how to do videos that actually sell. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm only going to focus on copywriting, which is only going to be the written format of copy, right? And this specific tutorial is only going to be about service-based businesses. So service-based businesses, examples like accountant, builders, dentists, chiropractors, beauty salon, hair salon, cleaning businesses. I mean, any type of service-based businesses that you can think of. If you're selling a service-based business, this video is for you. So the copy that you write on Facebook is different from the copy that you write on your website or on your landing page. It has to be different because the way people interact on Facebook is different from the way people interact on your website. So there's these are two different platforms, and you need to know how to speak to them. So why do you need, before you write a copy, you need to know who you're speaking to, right? If you know who you're speaking to, then writing your copy gets easier. But for this tutorial, I'm going to use two ad copies that I've used in the past, and they have actually converted. They have helped me to land clients. Please do not copy me, because I am a service-based business, digital advertisement services, and I also do one-on-one and one-to-many coaching. If you're going to use ads, you can model me, right? But there's no point of copying me, because you are not just going to be unique, and it's just different people. And also, the way you sell services is different from the way you sell physical products. How you sell services, you are not just going to come to somebody and say, okay, here's my service. I sell dentistry, or I sell like a roofing service, right? Those builders who sell like a roofing service. You're not just going to come to them and say, okay, here my roofing. Maybe that's going to work. I don't know, right? So I'm no one to tell if it's going to perfectly work the way you are. Maybe, but from my experience, from what I've tested before, there's a way you drive your prospect in your sales copy. You convince them to take an action and actually give them the credentials so you can follow up with them. Or there's a way to write. There's a type of image you use in order to get people to look at what you're selling and eventually get people to take action on what you want them to take action. So let's dive straight into my PC right now, and I will show you what I'm talking about. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, now we are on my PC. This is an example of an ad that I've wrote recently. And this ad has actually converted a lot. So what do you need in order to write an ad? What makes an ad convert really well on social media? So the very first thing you need to realize is social media, or any sort of advertisement, whether it's television, magazines, newspaper, except from radio, obviously, except from radio and podcasts, all of these ads, they are visual ads, especially on social media is is very visual. So the very first thing you need to have on your ad is the image. The image has to be beautiful, it has to be enticing, it has to arouse curiosity. So because social media is a visual platform, so people come to those platforms in order to interact with the relatives, friends and family, feed themselves of different type of content, have fun, so your content has to reflect that kind of audience. So it's very important that your content speak to your targeted audience in that specific way. So every single platform has its best practice. Facebook has its best practice. YouTube has its best practice. Instagram has its best practice. Pinterest has its best practice. You name it. I'm not going to name all the platforms here. So the second thing that you need to write an ad that converts really well on social media, you need to know who you're speaking to. You cannot speak to dentists the way you speak to vegans, or the way you speak to builders, or the way you speak to chiropractors. So they're all different people from all different fields. So you must know who you're speaking to. Once you know who you're speaking to, your ad copy is going to be way different, and it's going to be directed to a specific type of people. So you have a better chance of persuading your prospect. The third thing that you need to have in mind is your headline and title. I know this sounds very insignificant and of very little details, but it's extremely important. One thing that drives people to read more is the headline, right? So if you look at the title of a book, if it doesn't entice you, or if you look at the title of an article, if it doesn't entice, if it's not hot enough, if it's not spicy enough, people are not going to want to read the next lines and the next line and so on. So you want your prospect or your targeted customer to get an interest about your article. That's the reason why you wrote it in the first place. So it's extremely important that you know how to speak to them. Your title is very clear and bold. You can use title as asking the questions maybe, or you can just use any other title, but as long as it's enticing. For example, here I've used the example of, is a website any different from a sales funnel? That's a title. You can use something else, but as long as it's enticing. The four things, okay, I've mentioned three things. Now is the fifth things. Okay, the fifth things you need to bear in mind is, you can start writing your article or your copy by starting with a question as well. So for example, here I say, did you know that McDonald's spend on average $1.91 to get your feet in the store? You see, I am starting here with a question. Okay, here I am asking a question just to drive interest into my prospect mind, because if you ask a question why you're right at the beginning of your copy, it drives more interest. There's many ways to do that. You don't always have to ask the questions, but you can. Asking the questions is one of the ways. So now I walk the prospect more into my text. I use the art of storytelling, because when you write, you kind of have to use storytelling in your writing, especially if you're writing long copies. You have to be persuasive enough. It has to sound a bit like a story. So now, and I say, when a $2.09 burger sells, they only make 18 cents. And watch where it gets interesting. When they walk up the value ladder about upselling, they make, you see? So I use another thing called statistic. I use numbers. Get a mixture of everything. Do not be broad, be very specific. use numbers, use statistics, mix your shots, right? So I am using here numbers. I am also using down below, you will find somewhere I am also using statistic percentage, right? So these numbers are checkable. If you go online, you can check it, you'll find it. At the time that I wrote this article, at the time that I sourced this, when I sourced this article from the internet, it was written 1 or 2 years ago. This was the statistic, and this statistic is verifiable. You can check it online and find it yourself. So make sure you use real statistic, use the numbers that people can actually check and see for themselves. So, and now that I go down below, I also write here, I have the link of my landing page or my calendar where people can actually go and schedule a call with me. I don't really want to leave it until the end. It depends. Sometimes you might want to leave it until the end, and then or sometimes you want to put it like halfway through, yeah. So that's one trick I do, but it does not always apply this way. So another detail is when you ask a question, or when you have a title, right? When you're writing an article about something, do not make your answer easily guessable at the beginning. Because what happens is, if it's easily guessable at the beginning, people are going to guess and they're going to think, oh, this is just one of the ads, right? And they are not going to want to carry on reading your ad. But your goal of writing that specific ad copy is to make sure people actually go in great details about your copy and take the action that you ask them to do. So don't make your answer easily guessable. Do not answer the question at the beginning, because if you do answer the question at the beginning, what's the point of reading this whole copy? Look at this. Look at how long this copy is. I've made my copy long this way for one specific reason, and then I'll tell you. The reason why I made this is around 1,000 words. Most of my copies, my ad copies online, are 1,000 words or 1,500 words maximum. That's how long I make my copy. But you don't have to make your copy this long. You can make your copy for up to 500 words or 300 words minimum. And this type of copy, the way I wrote it here, is for service-based businesses. When you're selling service-based business, is different from products, physical products, right? So you are not just going to come to your targeted audience and say, okay, here's my product I'm selling. For example, let's say mouse as a service. This is just an example, right? You are not going to say, okay, here's my product, buy. There is a way you need to bring the prospect into your text so that your prospect feels it and be convinced to take the action, to give them the lead. One way is to write long form text like this. Another way is to do it through lead magnets, but you still have to write your ad copies. Your ad copy still has to be enticing. Maybe it doesn't have to be that long. It can be 200 words or 300 words. But if you're going through the lead magnet way, you could have shorter text, but you still need to know how to write your text correctly. And I have a video where I show you how to build a lead magnet using Canva. I'll put the link of that video in the description down below. So for now, let's carry on. So the question, the answer, you put the answer, and don't make your answer easily guessable. That was a previous point that we mentioned. Make your answer gradually. Make it clear, don't fill your article with fluff or your ad copy with fluff. Just make it, don't put things that you don't need there. If I don't need something here, I don't put it. Every single details that is written here they're all needed. I'm not just writing things for the sake of writing. Everything here is needed and is backed up. Use statistic, you know, space out your text, space out your paragraphs. Your paragraphs must be 4 lines maximum. If you look at my writing here, I do have 1-line paragraphs, 3 lines, 2 lines, 4 lines. I think this is the one with the 4th line here. If you look at all of my paragraphs, they are all 3 lines, 2 lines, 4 lines maximum. No more than that. If you check, you will see. So space out your text, make it more readable, easy to follow, you know, so people can actually read my text and they will see, wow, you know, this is interesting. And I will tell you guys, I've run this ad in an invisible post. It's also called dark post, Facebook invisible post or dark post. They are basically type of posts that you run to a different audience, but without having the post in your Facebook news feed, right? So sometimes I do that, you know, because I want to target people apart, I want to target a different audience apart from my Facebook fan. I'm not doing this because I'm hiding something for my Facebook fans, but it's just sometimes I like to test a different audience, you know. And what I do is I exclude my Facebook fan page so they don't see that specific ad, and it's for a specific purpose, you know. So just for you are my Facebook fans, don't think I'm hiding things from you. It's just I'm testing a different audience and see how they will react to that specific content. In marketing, data is crucial. When you know your data, then you can know what works and what doesn't work, and now you can scale what's working. You can put more money into things that's working. You will understand your metrics well. So understanding your metrics are very important. So I hope this Facebook fan thing, you know, is clear. And when I've written everything like this, I mix my shots. I put the put the statistic, you know, make sure your statistics are backed up, right? People can actually verify it. Don't put false thing in your article, because, you know, some people are going to spot out the false thing, and it's not good. Don't lie. So you can also include some of the things that people can expect from you towards the end of, like, towards your call to action. So now here, for example, I've said, but how can I really help you? Here are just a few ideas. I say a complete, unique, responsive website, advanced integration, lead capture, pixel tracking, create amazing sales copy, drive traffic to your sales page. Okay, so these are the things that I can offer. And now here at the bottom, I put the link of my calendar so people can actually schedule a call with me and speak with me. So before somebody speaks with me, I know this model does not apply to all sort of business, but there are principles that applies to all sort of business. Things like knowing the platform you're writing on, your targeted audience, your sales copy, your headlines. You know, these are principles. You can't mess around with these. These are general. Don't make your answer easily guessable. Space out your text. Space out your paragraphs. Maximum 3 lines. 2 lines minimum. 4 lines maximum. You know, in your call to action, scarcity. You need to add scarcity, because and the reason why scarcity is so important is just because people are lazy. People don't want to take action. You know, they always think, oh, I'm going to take action later. I'll do something else. I'll come back. Don't worry, I'll do it, right? But if they know it is for a certain time frame, right, they are not going to leave it for later. They're going to say, oh, wow, this is so important, right? So let me do it right now before the time runs out. Okay, I said scarcity, but I did not say to lie to your audience. It's a big thing. There's a big difference, and I would say I mentioned the difference right now. Okay, the difference here is I'm not saying to lie about your, I'm I'm not asking you to lie to your targeted audience. The reason why here, for example, I said I can only speak to 5 people per day, spots are limited, is because at the moment my marketing agency is not huge. I've only got a team of 2. I'm working with 2 other friends, so I cannot, if I offer to speak to more prospects, these are prospects. If I offer to speak to more prospects, how much more of my clients, because I have clients and I have other businesses to do, right? So if I offer to speak to more people in a day, am I gonna have time? Is me and my team gonna have time to actually deliver some of the work that we've already taken? So I'm putting the scarcity here based on what I can handle. I'm not gonna put the scarcity. So I'm not just gonna put the scarcity there just to make you think it's like that. This is actually real because I can't. We are just a team of 3. We can't multiply ourselves, right? We all have different tasks, and it's not even everyone that can speak to clients. I am the one who speaks to clients. I'm doing the the customer acquisition thing, right? And of course, I'm also doing the delivery with my partners, or with my mates. But we can't all speak to clients. We can't multiply ourselves. You see, so there's only a certain number of people, and I'm mentioning this to my prospects. I am telling them, guys, if you want to get on board, you want us to speak with you. There's only a limited time frame. There's only a limited number of people that I can speak to. If you want to get on board, here's the link, right? And your prospects, they need to know that. They have to know it. In the call to action as well, I know this one goes against the conventional way we've been taught on speaking to people, right? Do not be polite and say, oh, please go ahead and schedule a call. No, you say, go ahead, schedule your call here. You're not being rude, but this is how it works in the call to action in marketing. It's not, please go ahead and schedule a call here. No, you say, go ahead and schedule a call. Book a meeting with our agent. Let's talk, right? Whatever term you're using there, make sure it's straight. You don't use over term around. You don't say please. This is against like a normal or a conventional way of speaking, because I know we've all been taught to say, oh, please, do this. I mean, that's fine. You can do that. That's fine. But in copywriting, it's different. It's different from like a school writing, or like a college writing, or like a normal writing that you do every day, or your dissertation, right? This is copywriting. This is business. You're addressing your prospect, and your prospect needs to, they need to have that feel. They need to feel it in your writing, so very crucial. The last thing I want to say is, as I've said before, don't make your answer easily guessable. Make your text enticing. When somebody reads one line, they want to read the next and the next and the next. They keep on going reading, because on social media, people are so busy. There's so much distraction. People's attention span are just very narrow. So it takes a skilled person to get people attention online, right? So you can do that. You can get people attention as well by doing it the right way, writing it in the correct way. Because if it doesn't arouse curiosity, people are not going to want to know the next thing and the next thing. So grab that curiosity, write it in a nice way, make it legible, readable, and clear enough. Yeah. So that was all about how you write copies on social media. And one last thing. I know I've said one last thing before. I'm sorry, but this just sounds too cliche now. The copy that you write on Facebook is different from the copy that you write on your website or on your landing page, because the way you speak to people on Facebook or on social media is different from the way you speak to people on your website. So before somebody even takes action, and taking action is like hitting the click button, right? And getting to your calendar like this, right? And getting to your landing page or your calendar, they have to be interested about what you're talking about. Yes, they have to be interested. This is my calendar. So before people go ahead and book a meeting with me, they have to, if this doesn't interest them, they're not going to click. That was all about that. And when you write your sales copy like this, right, you need to check it online on a plagiarism platform. I use Grammarly plagiarism checker. You import all your text here and then you scan for plagiarism. So Grammarly will tell you how much you've plagiarized. I think the website, if you go online, you type Grammarly plagiarism, and then you click here on Grammarly. You click on plagiarism checker, Grammarly. There's many things that you can do with Grammarly. I use Grammarly. I highly recommend Grammarly. You can upgrade for the pro version, but I think for this one, this one you don't need to be like this one. You don't need to pay. But you can upgrade for the pro version for more features. Also use your own experience. In your writing, use your own experience as well. This article that I've wrote, right? This article did not come out of thin air. I've used experience from different platforms. I've pulled up data from different websites, and I've put them together, written them in my own words, and also added my own experience into it, because some of these details included in this article are also my own experience that I've tested again and again, not only on my marketing agency, but I've tested on my clients' website. I've tested on my clients' businesses as well. So it works. You just need to play around with it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was instrumental to you. And every week I post around 2 videos. At the moment I'm posting around 2 videos per week. Some weeks I'm posting 4, but at the moment I'm posting 2. So every Monday I'll be posting. Every Monday and Friday I'll be posting before 6 p.m. So check out my YouTube channel for more content. Subscribe, like, share my content, and I see you next time. Don't forget to leave your thought down below about what you think about this content. If you have any questions, also leave it in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, guys. I'll speak to you later. Bye.